Okay, now here's something very different. We're going from the icy northern tundra in Iceland to the African savanna. So this is the Maasai Mara. And again, this is a byproduct recording from a Wado recording trip because Killian and I went to the Maasai Mara mainly for to record Caspian plovers on their non-breeding grounds. And in this particular place, there were kitless plovers, there was three-banded plovers, all of which were of interest to us. This particular spot was a reservoir, a small reservoir, really tiny, but it was big enough for two hippos, and they spent most of their time there during the day, and at night they wander off, and they have these incredibly well-defined tracks on the grasslands, which it looks like a miniature trail. How can I describe it? There's a surprisingly small distance between their left legs and their right legs. It's like I can't remember exactly, but it's can't be much more than about 60 centimeters between them, and they must shuffle because they make these perfect tracks across the grassland. Anyway, that's kind of irrelevant. But this particular pool not only had hippos, it also had a pair of three-banded plovers, which is what interested me at the time in particular. And we came across this reservoir at the end of the day, and the three-banded plovers were already starting to display a bit. And I knew that being plovers, they would probably display a lot more at night. So I decided to leave some equipment there. But hippos are a problem. They can be quite aggressive and they're extremely territorial. So if I was going to leave a recorder out, I would have to do it quickly and jump back into the car as quick as I could. So I did that. Left it, thought carefully about exactly where to put it, and then jumped out, jumped back in again as quick as I could, and off we went. And I was fairly confident I would get something from the three-banded plovers, and I thought, well, who knows, the hippos might make some sounds as well. But what I definitely didn't take into account was that I was going to get close-up recordings of lions, because there were none there at the time when we left it. So during the night, it appears that at least one male lion, presumably not alone, but one male lion came up, and he must have been within a couple of tens of meters of the microphone. And that's what you hear in this recording. You hear this lion roaring, and it's amazing. If you listen with headphones, you can hear the way that his roar resonates way into the distance, and you get it bouncing back again off some feature in the distance. But it sounds as if I've applied some kind of a resonance to it to make it sound more impressive, but it's not. I didn't do anything like that. It really is like that. And also, when you're in a place with lions at night, it really does carry an incredible distance. As it happens, I grew up in Edinburgh, about a mile or two from Edinburgh Zoo, and it was quite common to hear lions roaring at night. Anyway, this is a close-up of a lion, and towards the end, you can hear hippos commenting. They do this kind of or something like that. That's a terrible impression. It's far more guttural than that. Anyway, and there's also the only bird that I've noticed in this recording is Egyptian goose making kind of hissing sounds, mainly towards the end. It's maybe stretching it slightly to call this a dawn chorus, but it was 5:45 in the morning. I can't remember exactly what time the sun came up, but there's obviously not much of a bird chorus just yet. But anyway, this was shortly before dawn on the Maasai Mara in late January last year.